up, my little town of Elton? What's up, Sussex squad? Y'all, how y'all doing today? Well, if you are Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, you are saying one thing about those tables, baby. They always turn. What am I talking about? Before Harry's book came out and after the documentary, because they were still trying to fake the front with the documentary, they were really on some, and nobody's gonna read that book. You're gonna make a fool of yourself. It's too much. Oh my God, stop talking. Y'all so annoying. Ooh, Harry's a little cuckoo, right? And then the book dropped. And then the book dropped. And just like a bomb, what happened? Harry's book broke the Guinness Book of World Records. It is basically the #1 book in so many countries. It was #1 in the UK, the highest selling nonfiction that eclipsed every royal biography up to this point. Not even royal biography, any nonfiction work. But baby, that rain didn't let up. What happened after that? They went on 60 Minutes interview. They were all like, we don't have anything to say to Harry. But you know what? Let's fact check that book. Because Harry said that there was a sale at JK Maxx and there was no sale. To which, spoiler alert, they're lying. There were sales. But this is how they had to play them. But then Harry said, hit them with the two-piece. And he said, oh, you don't like that? Let's get ready for the knockout. Remember in the interview he did where he casually said, you know, it's such a shame, isn't it? Such a pity. You know, I really had 800 pages. But for whatever reason, I decided to make it 400. But there's like a good 400 pages I still didn't write. As a matter of fact, I did pull out. I did keep the best stuff. So, you know, I hope my dad and brother could reconcile with me. Never underestimate a Virgo's need to be petty and their ability to be petty. Listen, Charles and Harry heard that mess and said, what? Y'all, look at what is going on. King Charles is apparently willing to hold peace talks with Harry. Now listen, spoiler alert, like everything King Charles does, he likes to present a public face and then do his talking on the side, which is better than William that just barks up front. But let's not forget that while he's saying he wants to hold peace talks, to get out of these peace talks, he tried to get the London mayor to disinvite Harry from his coronation. And the London mayor said, no ma'am, no sir, nuh-uh. We also know just how deep Meghan's influence is because baby, do you know that the Spencers, and you know they can't stand the Windsors, you know the Spencers literally offered Meghan Diana's tiara. And when the Queen Mom heard this, I know, like Meghan said, Harry, that's your family, that's your family. When the Queen heard about it, that's why she offered Meghan one of her tiaras. But still, Meghan Kelly, that old, whatever you want to call her, was still politicking and playing games. Y'all, let me explain this to you. Meghan was set to wear one of the most famous women in the world's tiara. Okay, it's never been my dream to wear a tiara, but if you into that stuff, it's a big deal, right? Again, the Queen offered her tiara. You can't say no to the Queen. So she said, okay. And then Meghan still had to be sabotaged by Angela Kelly. Now, one thing Harry doesn't explain in the book, side note, book club is starting tomorrow. Make sure you got your copies. If you don't have your copies, I'm going to do it live. We can call in and talk, but it's going to be good. But anyway, back to what I was saying. And then all the other book clubs, like, we'll just record. But back to what I was saying, right? Harry needs to make peace with the fact that, like, a lot of this stuff happened to you because the Queen wanted to happen. You cannot tell me that Angela Kelly, her dresser, was literally doing all these ignorant things to Meghan and didn't have the Queen's sign of approval. You can't tell me. Do you know why? Because it's not possible. But let's get into this, right? The jealousy that came from it. The jealousy. Meghan was set to wear Diana's tiara. Kate didn't even get offered Diana's tiara. You know Kate would have took that anyway. The fact that Meghan was getting so much love so early, and you know what? They can say anything they want. The fact that these British royalist hags looked at someone as being likable and well-loved and turned that into being narcissistic, because if somebody's real, they're a piece of Anyway, let's get into this mess. First, let's start with Charles wanting Harry to come to the coronation. Y'all ready for this? King Charles is literally wants to hold peace talks with Harry. Listen to this. There's been deafening silence on the subject from the King and the Prince of Wales, who kept calm and carried on with engagements in Scotland and Liverpool this week. They were buoyed, I think it's buoyed, by the rousing receptions and messages of support they received out of the wherever they were. Some of the royal households believe, at least said, soonest mended approach is the best way forward, a mantra being willfully ignored by Harry. But the otherwise heads of royal circles, I know, I had to read that, of royal circles who acknowledged it, much as it might stick or crawl after Harry's nuclear detonations, a reconciliation is the only way forward. Woo! But it's only achievable if both sides put their hands up and Harry puts his bang-bangs down. Y'all, they heard Harry saying, I got 450 more pages. Y'all worrying about Meghan writing a book. You should be worried about part 2. Because even though you came off as utter monsters, I took it easy on you. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Now, they're saying a royal source, right? Who has a king's ear and who believes that Sussex well believes who knows the Sussex well, believes a reconciliation meeting will happen in the coming months, and it needs to take place before the coronation. Now, let me just say this. That's Harry's family. I have no doubt that he wants to reconcile with them. He's a Virgo, right? But would you reconcile with them after the way they treated you at Prince Philip's funeral, your mom's funeral, your grandmom's funeral, right? And they probably planning yours. You really are going to reconcile with these people before the coronation? I'd be like, nah, buddy, we can have talks after your coronation. See, you fooled me once, you fooled me twice. The third time, baby, that's going to be shame on me. I'll have reconciliation talks with you after your coronation. How about a month after? So that way, if they act any type of way, do anything, listen, I would do a Beyonce level drop on them in the middle of the weekend with that book. They're saying it's going to take flexibility on all sides, but it can be done. It's fixable. Now it's fixable that Harry has like a best-selling banger. It needs Harry over here in a room with the King and Prince of Wales, a couple of other family members, some of his people he trusts who always had his back so he doesn't think he's being ambushed. Someone like Ed Lane Fox, Harry's former private secretary, or Lord Gett, the late Queen's former private secretary who advised the Sussex. We understand the pain, saying that we understand the pain you've been through. The King can do that. Now, here's why it's going to blow up in their face. Harry's whole thing, do they understand that Harry feels like he was disrespected by them his whole life? And now he finally finds someone that he thinks the sun shines on, which is Meghan. And you don't invite her by leaving Meghan out. You are calling Harry still an idiot for marrying her. You are doing the same narrative. These people are just so stupid that even after all this stuff, they still think that it's Meghan pulling the strings, y'all. And you're doing the one thing Harry hates. Anyway, because one thing you can say about Harry loves Meghan, and anyone that says a bad word against her or tries to make her feel excluded, for God's sakes, you guys drove this woman to feel like she wanted to unalive herself, and you're separating her from peace talks. Like Meghan said, Harry and I are salt and pepper, baby. We're past together. Anyway, they said William is just Harry's punching bag. In the blistering pages of the character assassination, and friends have said William is burning aside over his brother's disloyalty. Baby, Harry already burnt that bridge. Harry burnt the bridge, firebombed the village, and threw oil out onto the lake. Nobody was safe and nobody escaped. They're saying that William is loyal to the throne and understands what needs to be done for the country. He should be. That's your only job. Harry had no future with the throne except being your lackey, and when you want it, your ottoman kick your feet up on. Not everyone here behaved well, but Harry's got to be able to sit down and say, we didn't behave well either. That takes a lot of academic flexibility, which Harry isn't great at. Woo! They said we got to move on it and get it done by April. Then we need to get the wives in. So they're trying to convince Harry, after insulting him numerous times, that they want peace. And after Harry agrees to something, then they'll bring the wives in. Man, anyway, the king needs a clear run for the coronation. They have to invite them in before the coronation, or it'll become a circus and distraction. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. That's from the Five Heartbeats. When they were, it's a story about the Temptations if you never saw it. But anyway, it's one where they're like, and I refuse to let you go. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You got to see that scene. It's super funny. It's sad, but it's funny. Harry says that the spirit is not about collapsing the monarchy. He just wants them to take accountability. But they're saying they have to now be quiet and get on with their thing in America. And Harry has got to realize that it might all go down better in the UK, right? People taking it very badly. You said your piece, but why are you trying to torch the whole house? Because he doesn't like y'all. You guys tried to burn down everything he knew, loved, and built up. Do you really honestly think that a Virgo is letting you leave unscathed? Y'all idiots. Anyway, get this, Archie and Lilibet's titles. For months on, they're still styled as Master and Miss Mountbatten. That's right, they never made them Prince and Princess. Woo! Palace sources say all will be decided in good time, but the king would be wise to make his position clear on it before the coronation. If he has to decide to issue letters patent to remove their titles, it would not be motivated by vindictiveness. More of an acknowledgement that Harry's book has revealed that a poisoned chalice, a royal title, has proven for his second son and his wife. I wish they would remove Harry and Lilibet's titles, because that's the thing. Harry does want his kids to have his titles. This is his birthright. We're going to get into that later. But if they remove the titles now, next year, 2 years from now, Harry will literally go infernal, napalm on that place. Anyway, Harry's offer to still support the Commonwealth. They said in time, perhaps, there could still be an opportunity down the road, but it will need for them to settle down and be quiet. Do they? I don't understand. They give so many empty promises and false hopes. I think Harry was saying, yeah, I'll support the Commonwealth if you guys do everything I want. And he knows they won't do everything they want. So he knows he's never going to be, and they're literally trying to be like, maybe, in all good time, but you're going to have to be quiet. The fact that they think that Harry wants nothing more to sacrifice himself and kiss their butts. Last one, hold on, y'all. The last thing, they are terrified that he'll keep talking and writing. Right now, he's holding a bang bang to their heads, and nobody knows what will be acceptable to him as appeasement. His goalposts are constantly shifting, and the family is always going to question some of his versions of events. Listen, let me tell you something, right? I understand why the royals can't stand Harry, because they are part of a toxic system. And when you are the person that breaks toxic systems, generational traumas, everybody swears there's something wrong with you, because you, like Harry said, make everybody else uncomfortable. From their side, even evil people think they are 100% justified in what they do. Everybody thinks they're justified in what they do. So if you call them out, of course they're going to be like, oh, how dare you? We would never, this, that, and the third, man. So what, anyway, the mayor, before I go, they tried to get the mayor to say that it was a public matter. And since the UK and the city of London is paying for the coronation, then the mayor of London should be the person in charge of the guest list. They tried to make the mayor of London disinvite Harry so Charles could play poor me. The mayor of London said, absolutely not. You've never let us have this leeway in the past. We'll leave it all to you. And they kicked it all over. Y'all, this is going to be the biggest explosion yet. Harry is not over. I'm waiting to see the way Charles places at a coronation. I'll tell you one thing. If Harry and Meghan are smart, I would not go to the coronation. I just wouldn't. I am interested to see how much Harry actually misses his family and what he will sacrifice to look like, to have like an imaginary family unit. Because if you read Spare Book Clubs tomorrow, he has a lot of love in his heart for his family members. He's just deeply, deeply disappointed. Anyway, y'all, listen, let me wrap this up. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let me know what you think in the comments. Talk to y'all later. Bye.